Did you know that canned tuna could be poisoning your brain? Yes, you've heard that right. Eating it the wrong way can put your health at serious risk. But here's the kicker: most people have no idea. Think about it. Why are some tuna cans dirt cheap, while others cost way more? Or why are there so many types of tuna on the shelves? More importantly, have you ever stopped to wonder if that delicious tuna sandwich you love could secretly be packing dangerous levels of mercury into your body without you even realizing it? Today, I'm going to blow the lid off a shocking secret that the food industry doesn't want you to know. Not all canned tuna is the same, and the difference could be silently affecting your health. But that's not all. I'll also reveal the 4 biggest mistakes everyone makes when eating tuna, especially canned tuna, and what you can do to avoid these hidden health risks. Stick with me until the end, and I'll show you how to enjoy tuna the right way, without putting your brain and body in danger. Trust me, after today, you'll never look at canned tuna the same way again. If you want to protect your health and make smarter choices with your food, hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. I want to hear from you. Do you eat canned tuna regularly? How do you prepare it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What is mercury and where does it come from? You've probably heard about mercury in tuna, but what exactly is it and where does it come from? Let's break it down, because understanding this is crucial to protecting your health. Mercury is a toxic heavy metal that's naturally found in the Earth's crust. But here's the kicker: due to industrial activities, huge amounts of mercury have been released into the air over time, primarily through coal burning and mining. This has made mercury a major environmental concern. Now, there are 2 types of mercury we need to worry about: inorganic mercury and methyl mercury. When industries burn coal, inorganic mercury gets released into the air. Over time, this mercury settles into rivers, lakes, and oceans. In these low-oxygen environments, certain bacteria in the sediment convert this inorganic mercury into methyl mercury, which is much more toxic and dangerous than its original form. Here's where it gets even more concerning. Methyl mercury enters the aquatic food chain. Tiny organisms like plankton and small crustaceans absorb it, and then those are eaten by smaller fish. As you might guess, larger fish like tuna end up consuming these smaller fish, accumulating dangerous levels of mercury over their lifetimes. This is why tuna, especially large, predatory ones, tend to have higher mercury levels. And if you're not careful, eating too much of the wrong kind of tuna could pose risks to your brain, nervous system, and cardiovascular health. So, the next time you're reaching for that can of tuna, it's important to be aware of what's inside, because too much mercury can be silently harming your health. Let's dive into how you can avoid this and make better choices. Why does tuna contain high levels of mercury? Tuna are migratory fish that travel thousands of miles across the oceans, and their diet changes depending on where they swim. But there's a hidden danger lurking in that diet: methyl mercury. Tuna feed on smaller fish and crustaceans which, if they've been exposed to methyl mercury, pass the contamination right up the food chain. And that's where the problem begins. Unlike other substances that the body can eliminate, methyl mercury doesn't just disappear. It accumulates over time, like filling up a box that never gets emptied. As the tuna eats more contaminated prey, the mercury continues to build up in its body. Now, tuna can get rid of a small amount of mercury, but it's never able to completely flush it out. Instead, certain parts of the fish store large amounts of this toxic metal. So, when we eat tuna, especially large or older fish, we're also consuming that accumulated mercury. This is why experts and health professionals recommend eating tuna in moderation, particularly for young children and pregnant women, who are more vulnerable to the harmful effects of methyl mercury. If we don't watch our intake, the consequences could be serious, affecting everything from our brain health to our cardiovascular system. The biggest mistakes when eating canned tuna. Before you crack open your next can of tuna, here's something you absolutely need to know. The mistakes you make when choosing your tuna could be putting your health at risk without you even realizing it. Mistake number 1: not knowing the different tuna species. Did you know that not all tuna are created equal? There are three main types of tuna you'll find on supermarket shelves, and the difference between them is massive, especially when it comes to mercury levels. 1. Skipjack tuna. This is the tuna you'll often see labeled simply as tuna on cans. Good news, it's the safest choice for regular consumption. Why? Because it's a smaller fish that only lives for about 2 to 3 years, meaning it accumulates much less mercury. It contains just 0.12 parts per million of mercury. If you're looking for a safer option, skipjack is your best bet. 2. Yellowfin tuna. Yellowfin tuna is a little different. It lives for 7 to 10 years, grows larger, and accumulates nearly 3 times more mercury than skipjack, about 0.35 parts per million. While it's still safe to eat, it's best consumed in moderation. 3. Albacore tuna. This one's the most concerning. Albacore tuna can contain up to 0.50 parts per million of mercury, which is enough for the EPA and FBA to recommend that we significantly limit its consumption. If you're eating albacore, it's crucial to be mindful of how much you're consuming. So, why does this matter? Knowing which type of tuna you're eating can make all the difference in controlling your mercury exposure. Make sure to check the label and choose wisely next time you're at the store. Mistake number 2, not reading labels carefully before buying canned tuna. If you want to keep enjoying tuna without worrying too much about mercury, it all starts with reading the label. This small detail can make a big difference for your health. Here's the key. When the can says tuna, it's usually skipjack tuna, which is the variety with the lowest mercury levels. Skipjack is a smaller fish that only lives for 2-3 years, so it doesn't accumulate as much mercury. This makes it the safest option for regular consumption. But if you see light tuna or yellowfin, be cautious. These tend to have higher mercury levels. Yellowfin, for example, is the larger, longer-living fish, which means it accumulates more mercury over time. While it's still okay to eat, it's best consumed in moderation. Some brands will be transparent and specify the exact species right on the label or in the ingredient list, so make sure to check. If the label doesn't provide that information, a quick search on the manufacturer's website can give you the details. Many major brands share the species information online, and it's worth taking those few extra seconds to find out. Another important tip is don't rely on tuna alone. Rotating your fish intake with other low-mercury options can help keep your mercury levels in check while still providing a variety of nutrients. Before we move on, here's an exclusive gift to help you take your results to the next level. If you're tired of complicated workout routines and want a simple, diet-driven approach to flatten your belly, then you need my free ebook, Flat Belly Formula: Diet-Driven Secrets for Losing Weight Without Exercise. Inside, you'll find easy-to-implement tips that target stubborn belly fat through the powerful, yet simple dietary changes. Click the link in the description to download your free copy now and start transforming your body today. Mistake number 3, not managing weekly tuna consumption. While canned tuna is a convenient and affordable source of protein, eating too much can harm your health. Over time, mercury builds up in the body, and high levels can lead to serious health issues, especially when consumed frequently. The U.S. dietary guidelines recommend eating about 8 ounces of seafood per week, which is roughly the equivalent of 2 servings. Tuna can absolutely be part of this, but it's important to keep in mind that the mercury content will vary depending on the type of tuna you choose. Including tuna in your diet is a great way to boost your omega-3 intake, which is essential for brain and heart health. Omega-3s can help improve your memory, reduce inflammation, and even lower your risk for heart disease. However, as we discussed, not all canned tuna is the same. Some types contain more mercury than others. That's why it's crucial to read the labels, compare different brands, and also monitor your consumption over time. If you regularly eat canned tuna, it can be easy to unintentionally go over the recommended mercury limits. For example, if you prefer albacore tuna, which has higher mercury levels, you may want to reduce the frequency with which you consume it. By being mindful of how much tuna you eat in a week, you can balance its benefits without the risks. Also, remember that there are plenty of other fish options that are lower in mercury and still provide excellent nutritional value. For instance, salmon and sardines are great alternatives that deliver plenty of omega-3s without the mercury concern. Adding variety to your diet ensures you're getting a broader range of nutrients and reduces your exposure to harmful substances. Mistake number 4. Not draining canned tuna properly. When you open a can of tuna, one of the most overlooked steps is properly draining the liquid. Whether it's packed in water or oil, it's crucial to drain all the excess liquid before adding it to your dish. If you skip this, you'll end up with watery mayo, and your tuna salad will turn into a soggy mess. Not only does this affect texture, but it can also dilute the flavor of your dish. The best way to drain tuna is to use a fine mesh strainer over a bowl or sink. Gently press down on the tuna with a fork to squeeze out every last drop of liquid. This method helps retain the tuna's firm texture and rich flavor, making your dish more enjoyable. If you're short on time, you can use the can's lid to speed up the process. Open the can partially, turn it over the sink, and press the lid firmly against the tuna. Apply equal pressure on both sides to drain the liquid without losing any tuna. This quick and easy method works especially well for tuna packed in water. Here's a pro tip. If you're making a dish with mayo or other creamy ingredients, you might want to keep a little of the oil or water for added moisture. Just don't overdo it. Too much liquid will ruin the texture. In most cases, draining most of the liquid is key, but a splash of the oil or water can sometimes enhance the flavor. By properly draining your tuna, you ensure the best texture and flavor, whether you're making a salad, sandwich, or casserole. It only takes a few extra seconds, but it makes a world of difference in the final result. Which is better, tuna in water or tuna in oil? Let's cut to the chase. Fresh tuna is always the best choice, but let's face it, canned tuna is a lifesaver when you're short on time. But have you ever wondered whether it's better to buy tuna in water or tuna in oil? Here's the thing. Canned tuna can contain metals like aluminum from the can and mercury from ocean contamination. And here's where it gets interesting. Heavy metals are lipophilic, meaning they're attracted to fat. This plays a big role in which option is better for you. Tuna in oil. When tuna is packed in oil, the heavy metals tend to bind to the oil, not the fish. So, if you drain the oil well, you're actually getting rid of a good chunk of those unwanted contaminants, which could be a smart choice if you're concerned about mercury exposure. However, tuna in oil is higher in calories, but it also packs in more omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin D compared to its water-packed counterpart. Tuna in water. Without the oil to trap the metals, mercury stays in the fish itself. So, if you go with tuna in water, you're likely consuming more mercury. Not ideal, right? However, it's lower in calories and still gives you a solid amount of protein and omega-3s. So, which should you choose? If your main goal is to reduce mercury exposure, well-drained tuna in oil might actually be the better option. A study published in Public Health Nutrition found that tuna in water is a great choice for those looking primarily for omega-3 benefits, while tuna in oil might be the smarter pick for those needing a higher intake of essential fatty acids, including both omega-3s and omega-6s. This is especially relevant for people with cystic fibrosis or others who need an extra boost of healthy fats in their diet. In the end, it's about your health priorities, whether it's reducing contaminants or boosting your omega-3 fatty acids. Both types have their place depending on what you need. To enjoy tuna without the worry of mercury, it all comes down to making smarter choices. Take a moment to read the labels carefully, and if you're unsure, a quick online search can tell you more about the brand. The goal isn't to stop eating tuna. It's an incredibly nutritious food, but to make informed decisions so you can enjoy it safely. Mix it up with other low-mercury fish like salmon or sardines, and be mindful of your weekly portions. This way, you can continue to enjoy your tuna while maintaining a healthy, nutritious diet without unnecessary risks. Now that you know the 4 biggest mistakes to avoid, it's easier than ever to make better choices when you grab a can off the shelf. Have you ever made any of these mistakes when buying or eating tuna? Or maybe you have a creative way you like to enjoy it? Drop a comment below and share your experiences. If you found this video helpful, type yes in the comments. And give this video a like and subscribe. If you want to learn more about the best foods for your health, check out this next video.